एठी उपस्थित मुख्य अतिथि भाव आम आज पाइचु ब्रह्मपुर विश्वविद्यालय कुलपति मैडम गीतांजलि दास को तापरे आम गण आज आमर रेस्पेक्टेड रीजनल डायरेक्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन बरहमपुर श्रीयुक्त नारायण सर अच्छी तापरे आम गहण अच्छी मोर शिक्षक एवं मोर पथ प्रदर्शक आज मंच को मंडन करछंती डॉक्टर प्रवीण कुमार त्रिपाठी जे कि आठी आगु रीजनल डायरेक्टर थिले बरहमपुर रे तापरे आज की नोट स्पीकर भाव जोग देइचंती प्रोफेसर बलभद्र त्रिपाठी सर फॉर्मर प्रोफेसर ऑफ इंग्लिश बरहमपुर यूनिवर्सिटी तापरे आम सहित मोर बंधु प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर पूर्णचंद्र बेहेरा रिसर्च पर्सन हिसाब आसचंती सुदूर अनुगुल नवकृष्ण चौधरी कॉलेज ऑफ टीचर एजुकेशन तापरे आम सहित आसचंती आम गण अच्छी आज कन्वेनर ऑफ द सेमिनार नेशनल सेमिनार आमर प्रोफेसर देवेंद्र कुमार सेठी सर आम गण आहरी अनेक सबु विचक्षण प्रतिभावान व्यक्तित्व उपस्थित अच्छा सेपटे मोर पूज्य शिक्षक डॉक्टर वृंदावन मिश्र सर अच्छा आम सहित अच्छा डॉक्टर PMIASE संबलपुर प्रिंसिपल प्रोफेसर गरुड़ध्वज बारिक आम सहित अच्छा पूर्वतन अध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर बालेश्वर बीएड कॉलेज और बारिपदा बीएड कॉलेज पूर्वतन अध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर संजय कुमार दे सर तापर आम सहित अच्छा बलभद्र जेना महोदय डॉक्टर बलभद्र जेना जी की एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर NKCCT अनुगुल सी आसी पहुंचती आम सहित आमर सुदूर आसिचंती उत्तराखंड विश्वविद्यालय डॉक्टर अटल कुमार त्रिपाठी सर आसिचंती आम सहित आम सहित उपस्थित अच्छा आम मैडम प्रवीण सर मैडम ताकु वेलकम कर सहित अन्य माने बहुत आसचंती मोर आमर स्कॉलर सब जो मानस अच्छा विभिन्न कॉलेज रे रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स स्टूडेंट्स समस्ते एठी उपस्थित अच्छा गोटे खाली दुख लगे आमर पावर कौन गोटे प्रोब्लेम हठात हो जाइए काली तू चलता ठीक से भाई दुख सहित कह पड़े मत आम जो झरका भरका थे भी सेपटे क्रॉस मेंटेनेंस नहीं था आगर कौन केमती कर तेणु मोर सब चिंतार मोर झाड़ बाहरिकी मैडम तो स्पेशल बहुत माने ये करंट प्रॉब्लम कौन गोटे असुविधा जानी होनी तथापि भगवान कृपार आम आगे चलीचु आमर ये सब प्राय 8 दिन 10 दिन सब स्टाफ माने स्टूडेंट्स माने समस्ते प्राण मन प्राण देख लगी आम पाखे गोटे टंका भी क्या पाखे साहाय्य पाइबार नहीं कोलाबोरेशन नहीं किंतु ता सत्वे आम गोटे माने वी हैव डेयर्ड टू कंडक्ट सच ए वेरी ग्रैंड नेशनल सेमिनार एंड व्हेन आई invited Professor Gitanjali Das, Honorable Vice Chancellor Berhampur University, she immediately gave her consent, and I have seen since 2 years, 3 years, she has already changed, made various great changes in the Berhampur University. It's a neat and clean campus. Previously, Berhampur University was not so much clean, but the moment madam came here, you can eat your meal, you lunch on the road also, very neat and clean. greenery, full of greenery. So, madam, I owe my best regards to you for that. आम सहित नारायण सार जो आछंती नुआ को जॉइन करछंती रीजनल लाइब्रेरी हिसाब रे से मध्य हमको सब बेले कॉलेज रो समस्या समाधान पे सब हाथ बढ़ाइछंती एवं आगो को मध्य साहाय्य देइछंती प्रतिश्रुति आम कॉलेज रो विभिन्न समस्या विषय मु एबे कहबर अवकाश नाही केवल एतिक कहबी समस्ते मन प्राण दे ए कॉलेज को भलो पाइले कॉलेज आहुरी आगो को जीवो आगो को हमर आईटीपी हबर अछि इंटीग्रेटेड टीचर एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम मैडम ताकर यूनिवर्सिटी मध्य ऑनरेबल बीसी मैडम आरंभ कर दी नेक्स्ट ईयर आरंभ नेक्स्ट सेशन जुलाई रु दुईटा यूनिट तीनटा मैडम तीनटा बीएबीडी बीकॉम बीडी एंड बीएससी बीडी कांग्रेचुलेशन मैडम फॉर दैट कि आम ये पुराना इंस्टीट्यूट करि पारना आपण को आशीर्वाद देले हम आगे को जीवो सार करे निश्चित आज्ञा आज्ञा मैडम मते कहउतला हमें खलीकोट भी करि पारथाते सेते बेले टिके असुविधा हे गला व्यस्तता भीतर करि हे नै तबे हम पिला मन आगो को आहुरी बढ़िबे आगो को आहुरी टीचर एजुकेशन शाखा परिव्याप्त करण हो एवं आईटीपी गोटे जेमते बर्तन सब आईआईटी रे खोललाणी सेमिति एटा को आगो को आहुरी गोटे भलो कोर्स से छिड़ा हबो एटा समस्तकर गोटे विजन रही सो इन दिस occasion I don't want to take much time we have already been late so I now hand over I now end my speech here thank you for coming over this place and gracing the occasion hello
धन्यवाद सर अभाव असुविधा ही सब बेले नूतन उद्भावन पई बाट देखाए तेणु आपनक भितर जो अभाव जो असुविधा अछि आशा करिबो परवर्ती समय निश्चित भाबे ताहा हमको सफलतार शीर्ष स्तंभर स्थान रे पहुंचीबा को निश्चय चेष्टा करिवे एथरे हमर समस्तंकर सहयोग कामना आपनक जहा कले ताहा मध्ये हम सेतरे एकमत धन्यवाद सर वर्तमान मो अतिथि मानकर परिचय प्रदान करिवार आवश्यकता मन करू नाही कारण आज जो माने अतिथि से माने समस्ते निज निजर परिचय रे परिचित तथापि परंपरा को सम्मान जणाई मो वर्तमान ए कार्यक्रम को आगे को बढ़ाया पई प्रोफेसर सहकारी प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर सुरंजिता मुनि महोदय को अनुरोध करिवि से मुख्य अतिथि कर परिचय प्रदान करिवि
समस्त को नमस्कार esteemed chief guest honorable vice chancellor of Berhampur University Professor Gitanjali Das madam honorable regional director of education Berhampur Sri Narayan Chandra Behera sir Dr. Praveen Kumar Tripathi guest of honor of this national seminar Professor Balabhadra Tripathi sir keynote speaker of today's program as well as today's national seminar program other invited guests Professor Sanjay Kumar Dey sir Professor Gaurav Barik sir my teacher Dr. Vrindavan Chandra Misra sir other invited guests participants from different institutions research scholars and my dear students it's my great honor and privilege to introduce the chief guest of today's national seminar on the theme Restructuring Higher Education for Global Competitiveness in the Light of NEP 2020. As Dilip sir has already told that our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam, she don't need any introduction. Still, it's our duty to formally introduce our chief guest. Professor Gitanjali Das Madam is the first women Vice Chancellor of Berhampur University, the premier university of Southern Odisha. So before joining as the Vice Chancellor of Berhampur University, she was a Professor of Political Science in Fakir Mohon University, Baleswar, Odisha since 2008. Before that, she was a lecturer and reader in different government colleges of Berhampur and Balisur from 1988 to 2007. She held various key positions like chairperson, postgraduate council, registrar, member, executive council, dean of social sciences, chairman, board of studies, head of the department, director, and etc. In Fakirpur University, and she has more than 35 years of teaching and research experience. She was a student of elite institutions like Delhi University, Allahabad University, Utkal University, and Berhampur University before joining Odisha Education Service in 1987. Madam was the Vice President of Indian Political Science Association during 2020-2023 and elected as the President of IPSA in 2023. She is also the Secretary General of Network of Asia Pacific School and Institute on Public Administration and Government, for which Berhampur University is a resource center. Apart from that, Madam is also a master trainer of UGC SAMS program for women academic administrators. Madam was also nominated as one of the 14 most influential women in education space in 2024 by the prestigious Business World Education Group. Madam has been honored with Geological Survey of India Extraordinary Nari Wings of Wisdom in the field of academics in the Women Scientist Conclave, which was held on 6th August 2025 in Kolkata. Madam was also nominated as the visitors nominee to the Executive Council of the Central University of South Bihar, Gaya. And Madam has traveled and presented papers in the 25th and 26th IPSA World Conference in Brisbane and Lisbon. She has delivered more than 75 invited keynote talk at international and national conferences, workshops, seminars in India and abroad. She has been the editor of many journals and of international and national repute. Madam has authored and edited 5 number of books and has published several research publications and book chapters. They include National Development Council and the Indian Federal System, Globalization and Consumer Rights, Emerging Dimensions, Climate Change and Politics of Development, and Politics of Underdevelopment. Madam has been a life member of various national institutes like IIPA, IPSA, OPSA, etc. Madam is a passionate feminist and strong believer of equality and human rights for all. She is a person with positive attitude and strong conviction. She believes that she will be able to lead Berhampur University to reach at a new height. Madam, we are very much honored and privileged to have you in our today's national seminar on the theme Restructuring Higher Education for Global Competitiveness in the light of NEP 2020. Thank you. I'm here also to give introduction to one more chief guest, one more guest of honor, Professor Purnachandra Behera sir. Professor Purnachandra Behera sir is working as the professor in education in Navakrishna Chaudhary College of Teacher Education, Inaugural. Sir has completed his graduation from Bhadrak College in the year 1991. Sir has completed his PG in education in the year 1993 from Revansa University, Cuttack. Sir has completed his MPhil in education from the same Revansa University and PhD from Patna University, Patna, Bihar. Sir has served in various places during his service career, like lecturer in education in Patna University, lecturer in education in DAB College of Teacher Education, Koraput. Sir has also worked from 2013 to 2023 as reader or associate professor at NKCCT Inaugural. And in the year 2022, sir has promoted to the post of professor in education. And sir has made various academic achievements. And sir has produced PhD scholars, published around 30 number of articles in different national and international journals. Sir has published 2 number of books, and he has also composed more than 25 Odia poets. Sir, thank you so much for coming to our institute from far Inaugural and gracing the occasion on the eve of National Seminar at DPIASE. Thank you, sir.
धन्यवाद मैडम कृति स्वीकृतिर ए लंबा परिचय भितर मुझे प्रथमे कही जे एमानकर अतिथि मानकर आउ आवश्यकता नाही परिचय प्रदान करिवार तथापि मैडम बेस भल भावे से अन्य मानक जनइबा पई चेष्टा करिसेंती सेति पई आंतरिक कृतज्ञता एबे मो मंच को आमंत्रण करिवि सहकारी प्रोफेसर श्रीमती शुभश्री मिश्र महोदया को जे आजिर सम्मानित अतिथि परिचय प्रदान करिवि श्रीमती शुभश्री मिश्र
A very good afternoon to all. Respected dignitaries on dais and off dais, esteemed faculty members, dear participants, and my dear students. It is my proud privilege to introduce our invited guest in this today's seminar on restructuring higher education for global competitiveness in the light of NEP 2020. It is indeed a matter of great honor and privilege for me to introduce the guest of honor for today's seminar, Sri Narayan Behera, Regional Director of Education, Berhampur. Sir has completed his post-graduation from Utkal University in 1996, and during his student life, he has demonstrated remarkable academic excellence by receiving the Best Paper Presentation Award and securing first position in the Philo Quiz competition organized by the PG Department of Philosophy, Utkal University. In the same year, he further strengthened his academic credential by qualifying UGC NET along with the prestigious Junior Research Fellowship in the year 1996, which marked the beginning of his research journey. In 1997, he joined Utkal University as a Junior Research Fellow, contributing to academic research and scholarship. Continuing his distinguished professional journey, he qualified the Odisha Education Service in 1998 and in 1999 joined as a lecturer at SKCG Autonomous College, Parlakhemundi, where he served with dedication and commitment to higher education. His academic career further progressed as he was transferred to Khalikot College in 2013 and later to SBR Government Women's Autonomous College in 2018. In recognition of his rich academic experience, leadership, and administrative competency, he was appointed as the Regional Director of Education, Berhampur, in November 2025. Alongside his administrative responsibility, he has actively participated in more than 20 national and international seminars and has published more than 10 research papers in reputed journals. With such an inspiring academic journey and distinguished service to the field of the guest of honor of this seminar, and it is my proud privilege to present his brief introduction. Thank you, sir, for your presence and making this meaningful. And now I am going to introduce our another guest of honor, Dr. Praveen Kumar Tripathi, and it is also gives me immense pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Praveen Kumar Tripathi, an eminent academician and a highly respected personality in the field of education. Dr. Tripathi is a former associate professor in education who has dedicated more than 3 decades of his life to teaching, research, and academic in various government colleges of Odisha. Throughout his illustrious career, he has contributed immensely to the advancement of teacher education and higher education in the state. His long year of experience reflect his deep commitment to academic excellence and the development of quality education. Apart from his remarkable teaching career, Dr. Tripathi has also made significant contribution in the field of academic administration. He has served with great distinction as the regional director as well as the deputy director in the government of Odisha about 7 years. During his tenure, in this responsible position, he played an important role in strengthening the educational system and guiding several institutional initiatives aimed at improving teacher education and higher education. Dr. Tripathi has completed his Doctor of Philosophy from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, one of the most prestigious university in the country. He has maintained an excellent academic record with first class throughout his academic career, which clearly reflect his dedication, intellectual ability, and scholarly commitment. As a prolific scholar, Dr. Tripathi has made valuable contribution to academic literature. He has published several research papers in reputed national and international journals, and has actively participated in numerous seminars, conferences, and academic discussions across the country. His scholarly engagement has enriched the academic community and inspired many young researchers. In addition, he has guided research scholars at the doctoral level and contributing to the development of new knowledge and academic leadership in the field of education. And his major areas of academic interest include teacher education, educational research, curriculum development, and higher education. Through his extensive experience, profound knowledge, and insightful perspectives, he has earned great respect and admiration in the academic fraternity. So today we feel proud, privileged, and honored to have such distinguished scholar. Thank you, sir, for your presence and making our seminar meaningful one. Thank you, sir.
एबे मु मंच को स्वागत करी सहकारी प्रोफेसर श्रीमती काली पटनायक महोदय को से मंचासीन अन्यतम अतिथि परिचय प्रदान करी।
समस्त को नमस्कार। Respected dignitaries on the dais, faculties of this institution, faculties from other institutions, research scholars, and my students. Today, this is my proud privilege to introduce today's guest of honor, my teacher, Professor Balabhadra Tripathi sir, former professor, PG Department of English, Berhampur University. Sir has completed 34 years of service in higher education and served Berhampur University in different capacities, such as Head of PG Department of Education in the year 2013 to 15 and in the year again 2018 to 20. Director of Center of Canadian Studies in the year 2019 to 2021. Public Relation Officer, Media Information Officer and Spokesperson of the University in the year 2020 to 22. And Secretary of Sports Council during the year 2020 to 21. He has contributed to academic education and coordinator of add-on courses in communicative English from 2015 to 2016. Sir has researched in areas like Indian literature, American drama, postmodernism and feminism. Published 2 books, namely The Truth of Power, a study of Sam Shepard's play, and American popular culture and crisis of transition, a comparative study of Tennessee Williams and Anton Chekhov. Sir has published 25 research articles, national seminars and international journals of people. Sir has guided successfully 4 PhD scholars and 20 MPhil students. Sir has completed a UGC research project titled The Indian Narrative Tradition and the Novel. He has served as a life member of Indian Association and American Studies. Again, Forum on Contemporary Thought, Baroda, OUCIP, Hyderabad. Thank you, sir. Your presence here make us very privileged and great to this academic program. Thank you, sir, to get as a teacher.
धन्यवाद मैडम। आम कार्यक्रम आरंभ करते प्रतिमा पूजारू एवं समय आसी प्रतिभा पूजार मु अनुरोध करी आमर अध्यक्ष महोदय को मंचासीन मुख्य अतिथि को से उत्तरीय एवं स्मारक प्रदान करी संबर्धित करेंगे। सत्यप्रभा मैडम को अनुरोध करी सहयोग कर अनुरोध करी अध्यक्ष महोदय को आमर प्रिय कुलपति महोदय को से उत्तरीय प्रदान करेंगे एवं स्मारक प्रदान करेंगे। पर अनुरोध करी अनुरोध करी से आमर आंचलिक शिक्षा निर्देशक महोदय को मध्य संबर्धित करेंगे। एवं मु अनुरोध करी ये कार्यक्रम आवाहक प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर देवेंद्र कुमार सेठी महोदय को से प्रोफेसर बलभद्र त्रिपाठी महोदय को संबर्धित करें। पुणी तांको अनुरोध करी अन्यतम अतिथि डॉक्टर प्रवीण कुमार त्रिपाठी महोदय को मध्य से संबर्धित करेंगे। पूज्य पूजा परंपरार ये अन्यतम आकर्षण कारण सार मध्य तांकर छात्रों पाखरु वर्तमान संबर्धित होउछन। एवं मैं अनुरोध करी डॉक्टर प्रवीण कुमार त्रिपाठी महोदय को से प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर पूर्णचंद्र बेहरा महोदय को संबर्धित करेंगे। एवं मु श्रीयुक्त नारायण चंद्र बेहरा महोदय को अनुरोध करी से आमर अध्यक्ष को संबर्धित करेंगे। तांको मध्य आउ थे अनुरोध करी से ये कार्यक्रम आवाहक प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर देवेंद्र कुमार सेठी महोदय को मध्य संबर्धित करेंगे। समस्त को आंतरिक कृतज्ञता। एबे मो मंच को आह्वान करी आज मुख्य वक्ता ब्रह्मपुर विश्वविद्यालय इंग्राजी विभाग प्राक्तन प्रोफेसर देवेंद्र बलभद्र त्रिपाठी महोदय को से तांकर अभिभाषण प्रदान करेंगे।
Esteemed Chairperson of the occasion, Professor Pradhan, Manoj Kumar Pradhan, the Principal of DPIASE, esteemed Chief Guest of the occasion, esteemed Vice Chancellor Professor Gitanjali Das, Berhampur University, esteemed guests on the dais, resource persons, delegates, students, ladies and gentlemen. So to give a keynote speech within a short time is not possible. I think I should have been given a special session for this, and it is not there in the routine. But somehow I will restrict myself to 5 to 7 minutes, if permitted. The topic selected for the conference is varied and wide, and I have decided to focus on a particular area, especially related to the cultural vision of NEP 2020, relating it to the Indian knowledge systems and other traditional richness of Indian nation and Indian culture. In due course of my talk, maybe a very short one, I will shortly talk about two great personalities. One is G.N. Devi, who talked about vernacular languages and the role of vernacular in the Indian education system, especially in higher education. And I will talk about Vandana Shiva, the ecofeminist, who talked about the Indian knowledge system related to ecology and environment awareness. These are the two areas which can be connected to the discussions on NEP 2020. I hope the deliberations further will focus more on that. The National Education Policy 2020 significantly marks a decisive shift in Indian higher education by foregrounding Indian knowledge systems as a rich cultural resource rather than a peripheral archive. It is important to note how NEP 2020 defines universities and colleges as centers of cultural regeneration, intellectual decolonization, and civilizational connectivity. Moving beyond a colonial knowledge framework, the policy proposes integration of classical philosophies, indigenous sciences, regional literatures, community-based knowledge traditions into mainstream curricula and research. The national education policy marks a significant shift in India's educational landscape, emphasizing the importance of the Indian knowledge systems in shaping the country's educational framework. The IKS play a very central role in revitalizing India's rich cultural heritage, incorporating IKS into curriculum. In incorporating IKS into the curriculum, the policy seeks to enhance interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary understanding, integrate modern knowledge with traditional wisdom, and address current societal changes. This reflection invites educators, policymakers to envision a culturally responsive higher education system that is simultaneously rooted, inclusive, and globally dialogic. The integration of IKS is justified by India's long tradition of holistic knowledge and wisdom. NEP 2020 notes that ancient India produced world-class centers who made seminal contributions to world knowledge across fields. India, through traditionally linked Jnana with Vijnana and Jivana Darshana, life philosophy, as an integrated whole. The Bharatiya Drishti, a uniquely Indian perspective of life and learning, is seen as a resource for solving contemporary problems. As the government explains, the goal is to draw from India's unbroken knowledge traditions to tackle current and emerging challenges of India and the world, providing students with a worldview that embraces both modernity and ancestral wisdom. The NEP thus frames IKS education not as a parochial rote learning, but as a holistic interdisciplinary grounding. I will talk about G.N. Devi for 1 minute or so. G.N. Devi is a famous linguist, a famous professor of literature, English literature, who has written the famous book, an epoch-making book, After Amnesia, Traditions and Change in Indian Literary Criticism. In this book, Devi examines the crisis of Indian intellectual traditions and argues for the recovery of indigenous knowledge systems in literary and cultural criticism. The central argument of the book is that colonial education created conditions of cultural amnesia. We have to understand the word amnesia in India, which led to the neglect of traditional systems of knowledge and critical thought. Devi suggests that Indian scholars, influenced by Western education, began to analyze Indian literature mainly through European theoretical frameworks, thereby ignoring the rich indigenous tradition that had developed over centuries. Devi says, and I quote, colonialism creates a cultural demoralization. Colonialism creates a cultural demoralization. It creates a false sense of shame in the minds of the colonized about their own history, about their own traditions, unquote. One of Devi's important contributions is his emphasis on depth and sophistication of classical Indian literary theories. Long before the development of modern Western criticism, Indian thinkers had evolved systematic theories of aesthetics and poetics. Scholars such as Bharat Muni, Anandavardhan, and Abhinav Gupta developed influential concepts like rasa, dhvani, and aesthetic experience, which provided comprehensive framework for understanding literature and art. Devi argues that these theories represent a highly developed intellectual tradition and that should form an important part of modern literary studies in India. Another important aspect of Devi's thought is the recognition of the plural and multilingual nature of Indian knowledge systems. Indian culture has evolved through the interaction of Sanskritic, regional, and folk traditions. Literary and intellectual production in India had never been confined to a single language of tradition. Instead, it reflects a complex dialogue between classical texts, regional literatures, oral cultural practices. This plurality is a defining feature of Indian knowledge systems and challenges the idea of a single unified cultural tradition. I will take 1 minute for talking about Vandana Shiva and the empowerment consciousness that we get from this kind of a discussion that we can make. The environmental crisis of 21st century, characterized by climate change, loss of biodiversity, deforestation, soil degradation, water shortage, has revealed the shortcomings of a prevailing Western development models. Industrial capitalism, backed by reductionist science, has regarded nature as a passive resource to be utilized for profit. In reaction, academics have progressively embraced different epistemologies that contest the perspective. Indian knowledge systems are based on ancient philosophical traditions and community-centered practices that highlight harmony between humans and the natural world. Conventional ecological models showcase the real-world implementation of this perspective. Indigenous farming highlighted biodiversity by using mixed cropping, crop rotation, and natural fertilizers. These techniques maintain soil fertility and reduced pest susceptibility. Traditional farming systems in India evolved through centuries of ecological experimentation and adaptation. Second groups exemplify ecological preservation rooted in cultural traditions. Forest areas were safeguarded by religious prohibitions, guaranteeing the preservation of biodiversity. The groves acted as ecological reserves, supporting plant life, animal species, and water systems. These practices demonstrate that conservation was not imposed by state mechanisms, but rather assimilated through cultural norms. Conventional water management systems provide additional examples of ecological intelligence. Step wells, tanks, and rainwater collection systems were created based on regional geography and climate conditions. Indigenous water systems are believed to have promoted sustainability via decentralization and community stewardship. On the contrary, contemporary centralized systems frequently interrupt natural hydrological cycles and create dependence. So Bandana Siba you are talking about is a physicist turned environmentalist whose work bridges science, philosophy, feminism, and activism. Her engagement with grassroots movements, similar as the Chipko movement, profoundly shaped her ecological thinking. Observing pastoral women guarding timbers led Siba to recognize the intimate connection between women's labor and environmental sustainability. In staying alive in her book, Siba reviews Western development for assessing a violent epistemology that marginalizes both women and nature. She comments that development was reduced to a purely profitable process, measured by growth, while its social ecological costs were rendered unnoticeable. This view forms the foundation of eco-feminist thinking. I will conclude. Scholars have noted that integration of IKS in higher education aims to produce holistic graduates who combine ethical awareness, cultural understanding, and critical thinking. The NEP attempts to merge the strengths of the traditional Indian intellectual heritage with modern scientific inquiry so that education contributes to national development as well as global knowledge production. However, the NEP 2020 vision has also generated several critical debates. One concern is the challenge of implementation. Many universities lack trained faculty, research infrastructure, and academic resources necessary for the systematic teaching of IKS. Without proper scholarly frameworks, there is a risk that the incorporation of traditional knowledge may remain symbolic rather than academically rigorous. Scholars have therefore emphasized the need for curriculum redesign, faculty training, institutional support to ensure meaningful integration of indigenous knowledge systems. Another critical issue relates to the balance between tradition and scientific inquiry. While reviving indigenous knowledge traditions is important for cultural self-confidence, critics argue that these traditions must be examined through rigorous academic methodologies. If IKS is presented uncritically, it may lead to cultural romanticism rather than genuine intellectual engagement. Therefore, scholars stress that the study of Indian knowledge traditions should involve critical analysis, comparative perspectives, and interdisciplinary research. Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद सर भाषार अभाव आपणकर ये भारतीय ज्ञान कौशल परंपरा उपरे जो दिग्दर्शन बिंदु मध्य जो सिंधु दर्शन आपण स्वल्प समय भितर करैछंती सेति आंतरिक कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करुछि। आम निमंत्रण रक्षा करी एठारे उपस्थित थिबा विभिन्न गणमाध्यम प्रतिनिधि मानकु मु पुणी थरे स्वागत करुछि एवं ये कार्यक्रम को मनोभोग उपभोग करिया पई मु अनुरोध करुछि। एबे मु मंच को आह्वान करबी आजिर अन्यतम अतिथि डॉक्टर प्रवीण कुमार त्रिपाठी महोदय को से तांकर वक्तव्य उपस्थापन करिबे।
esteemed Vice Chancellor, Berhampur University, Professor Inaugural Das, Madam. I'm very happy to see Manoj, who was my student. Now I'm happy to see he is occupying the most prestigious chair of your loving DPIASE chair. Thank you, Manoj. I'm very happy to see you in this particular prestigious chair because that is the only happiness a teacher always gets it. Then Narayan, he is also a very good scholar in philosophy. He is also occupying the most highest dignified chair in Berhampur, that is Regional Director of Higher Education. Then Professor Tripathi, I was silently just listening his keynote address. It was really very culturally rich NEP report 2020. Thank you, sir, for your keynote address. I am really very much impressed. And listening one branch of your knowledge, that is postmodernism, that is also a part of your thinking. And one of my also best student is sitting last, that is Devendra, and he's smiling. And he is a very, very all-rounder, I think, in the Faculty of Education. I saw him the succession list. 3-4 times he has occupied the chair at this advanced studies in education. Thank you. I'm very happy to see you also. And Professor Purna, I think you are the youngest professor. I think he joined in training college now. He's continuing. And 2-3 students also, very close students. Balabhadra is also sitting in front of me and taking my photo. The what sir is going to speak. But as you know, the time is very limited. I have to only speak for 5 minutes, my dear students. So today I may be excused because last time, also, you know, I am also here, ma'am, I'm here also. I was participating in the seminar, national seminar. And today also it will be late, but it is managed. So 5 minutes, I think I talk about 2 things only on basis of NEP 2020. That is a very popular way for my young students, aspiring students. That is ABC, very popular you'll find in case of your NEP 2020, academic bank credit. What is that? My dear students, very bona fide young students, you are at the verge of employment. You are going to get good employment in 21st century. This is a very, you are all are fortunate in front of us. This is a good century for you to get your job very soon, and you are going to be professionally show your talent in front of the society. So like your money, knowledge is also now becomes very powerful, but selective knowledge. Money, normally when we talk about bank, we always talk about how much bank balance you have with your money, relating to money. But here, this, because this is not merely a document, this is not a document like NEP 2020, it is a kind of policy along with aspiration. Aspiration of young minds, means your minds. Because we are all old generation. Only we are borrowing the ideas and disseminating the ideas for the sake of a good foundation. Means you must come out with a good skill so that you can become a very, very powerful professionally, giving a powerful professional support to the development of the country. Because you are the aspiration, you are the dream, and you are the really founder, so far as the perfect foundation of higher education is concerned. Forget about your primary and secondary education because you are at the verge of higher education. That is the most apex part of your development. Don't misuse it. Try to make your bank so rich so that you can have more than 2-3 certificates. Means that is more than your money. Suppose you are now MSc in one subject, that is good, that is your background. And after taking training, you are going to add another certificates from Berhampur University. Means you are going to be more richer. And if you go to add another 3-4 certificates in that ABC, means academic bank credit, only you have to add credits. That credits automatically it will be transferred at the time of selection, even if at the time of preparing a merit list. So try to make your ABC so rich. Every day you can see it, how many publications you have, how many research scholars, even if the professors, those who have joined here as young teachers here in front of me, how many research scholars are already doing PhD under your supervision. That is also a rich kind of knowledge you can add to your ABC. So go ahead with your ABC. Every day you have to think what you are going to add your academics. So academic cultural integrity is very much needed for the development of the country. And your input has to be so reflected in the form of output so that you will be very satisfied, productive citizens. Not unproductive, even if you should not go for unproductive work. Always you think what to do today, because 24 hours is the most valuable time for you. If you miss it, you will never get back these 24 hours. So every 24 hours, you can go for, I have already told you even last year also, 5 important skills you have to develop. Your reading ability you have to develop very fast. Writing also it is very much required because in online, maybe offline, but you need some kind of writing speed. So speed has to be maintained. Otherwise, you know, the generation is so fast. You are playing with your 4th generation, 5th generation, 6th generation computer. So naturally, you must be very conscious regarding your speed. So speed of writing, speed of your thinking, even if speed of speaking, or sometimes it is very much required to expose your input in the form of output. That is very much required. Along with that, your digitization skills. In NEP, you'll find there is a restructuring of higher education in the context of that is global knowledge. How it is to be shared. Unless you go for a digitization, you cannot share with your global knowledge. So these 3-4 aspects you have to keep in your mind. Every day you have to think how to reach your ABC bank so that you can get a good job, you can earn money, you can become a good citizen, and you can have both cultural, ethics, values, everything intact will be with you. Because if you read one book, I have already read it, you can also go through it. Wise Singh has written a very good book that is modernization in Indian tradition. So we have to keep our tradition into our own values. That we should not forget. That will be automatic. Even if in Western countries, they are also keeping their own traditions. But along with that, you must make your mind in a way by which your mind should grow, and it will become very modern. And even if not only modern, you have to enter into the field of postmodernism, which already Professor Tripathi, the retired professor in English, has elaborated. The cultural modernization depends on your values. That is very much open. You have to make your values open so that it should not be restricted to one branch of knowledge. Your knowledge should be acquired slowly, and time will come, it will become a source of knowledge, and that is your economy. You will find in NEP, there are 2 terms always repeated: global knowledge and challenge. Everything is a challenge. Microphone sometimes coming down is challenge, but we have to adjust it. So everything you have to do in a process of adjustment and acquiring knowledge, keeping the knowledge in your bank, then your bank will be so rich, and you will become rich, and your pocket will become rich in knowledge, not in money. And money will come automatically, that will run after you. Will never run after money. Money will every moment run after you. So that is the indication and the aspiration of the global economy so far as the NEP vision is concerned. So that is all about my dear students. So all of my love and blessings to you, and you must go ahead with a very positive spirit. And you are in middle and last middle part of the 21st century. You have been lucky, and you are in this century. You see all the innovations, and whatever innovations you will read in this NEP 2020. These are very powerful innovations. That is not very immediately you can achieve it. It will take some time, because there is 2 words you have to keep in your mind. That is innovation, digital part of innovation. That is your augmented reality and virtual reality. These 2 words you have to keep in your mind. What is AR and what is VR. So nowadays you are not depending on teachers. You are not depending on teachers. Only you have to go for a listening skill. And the listening skill is a very positive skill. If you listen, your mind becomes open, and you can inject some kind of new knowledge into the existing faculty of your mind. So that is a very positive thing. You have to do it. Listening is a powerful skill. So even if an ordinary boy also listens, even if your son listens, you can listen. Your brother speaks something, you can listen. Don't go for arguments, because arguments sometimes spoils the thinking of the individuals. Listen, keep it in your mind. Whatever required, you keep it. What you do not require, you forget. So that is the way you can reach your ABC, and you can go ahead with the positive spirit. So all the best, my dear students, and my lovely faculties, and also the young faculties there. I think they are very sincere in organizing this kind of functions. And mostly, all my best wishes and mostly the blessings to my student Manoj. And he should be a very powerful principal. I must see him in this college. And this college should be proud of to get Manoj. Manoj is very disciplined boy. He'll find after sometimes you see that he's very disciplined boy. You see that's all.
धन्यवाद सर आपणकर आशीर्वाद एमती सदा आम ये अनुष्ठान पर थाउ आमर जो छात्र छात्री मानक आपण जगतीकरण प्रक्रिया रे शामिल होवा पई जो परामर्श देले ता निश्चित भावे सेमानकर चलापथ को आउरी कुसुमित करिवो एवं सेति पई आंतरिक कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करूछि। एबे आज एही कार्यक्रम आधारित जो पुस्तकटी प्रकाश पाइछि से पुस्तक को उन्मोचन करिया पई मुख्य अतिथि महोदय को अनुरोध करी ए कार्यक्रम रे सहयोग करिया पई सहकारी प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर निवेदिता कर महोदय को मो मंच को आमंत्रण करूछि। समस्ते करताली दे उत्साहित करिबा। आउथरे समस्ते करताली दे उत्साहित एबे मो अनुरोध करिबी माननीय कुलपति महोदय को से मंच को आसीबे एवं तांकर वक्तव्य एटारे उपस्थापन करिबे।
Good afternoon, one and all present here. The remote guests on the dais. The patron of this seminar, Professor Manoj Kumar Pradhan, Principal of this college, a very vibrant personality for whom I am here. Esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Tripathi, esteemed guest of honor, Professor Praveen Tripathi, our regional director, again a very vibrant personality, Sri Behera, and Bimal Charan Swai, I think he's not there, and Professor Purna Chandra Behera, and Professor Sethi, the convener of this program, and sitting in front of me, the resource persons coming from different colleges, training colleges, and the research scholars, and my dear students of this college. It is indeed a pleasure to be here, and this is not new. on my part, because I had come once to this college, I think it was 2022 or 2023. And today's topic is also equally important for all of us. It is on National Education Policy 2020. Though the book, National Education Policy, is a very short document, but it is a value-loaded document. Every word carries some meaning. How many of you have gone through the policy? Students, all of you should read, go through the book, the policy. It is available on internet. In the last interview, you were asking every student that have you gone through NEP document? Most of them, they tried to bluff that yes, but they could not speak. How many pages also they could not speak. So this is my first advice to all of you, because NEP's mandate is teacher centric. It is teacher centric. NEP says the entire education is based, it is centered on teachers. So training the teachers is most important part of National Education Policy. This is a policy which is really, it intends to make it transformation of our educational system. We were in a Macaulay system of education for our slavery, intellectual slavery, which we had undergone for the last 2 centuries. So after the independence, we had Green Revolution, all of you know. We had a White Revolution, that also you know. We had a Blue Revolution, that is also very important. We have a Grey Revolution, that's in the field of software, and entrepreneurial revolution, and this is a knowledge revolution. This is a knowledge revolution which we are undergoing now. So NEP, to put NEP in its place in every institution, in every educational institution, starting from primary to secondary to higher education institutions, and mostly it is very important in these institutions because these are teacher centric. The persons who are sitting in front of me, as Professor Tripathi was highlighting, you are one of the luckiest persons in this Vikshit Bharat model, because all of you are, this is a professional education, and once you are in, you will go with a flying color. You will just pass out with flying colors, and employment is a must for all of you. I'm sure if you are very serious about your studies, then getting a job is not at all a difficult process for you. So that is NEP's mandate. Professor Balabhadra Tripathi has touched upon very important aspects of NEP, that is IKS, Indian Knowledge System 1, now we call it Bharatiya Gyan Parampara. The moment NEP was introduced, I introduced a compulsory paper in every department on IKS, be it physics, be it zoology, be it history or English. So all students are studying Indian knowledge system and how it is related to their particular subject concern, and all the teachers have written, they have developed the course syllabus also, and they have written also, they have started writing also on the topics. So initially they thought it is very difficult. I don't know, nothing is difficult. You have to do some research, good research on Bharatiya Gyan Parampara and how it is relevant for your subject. You can write and develop some course material. So that is also the duty of a teacher. Another very important aspect of NEP is already my predecessors, they have already made my job very simpler. Sir was talking about digitization. Digitization is a must. Now knowledge is in the fingertip of every student. if you go on providing, disseminating in knowledge, sorry, information, they will not be attentive. They will say, I'll Google it and I can also know the concept better than you. Because you are a old person, you are outdated, and I am rather tech savvy, and I belong to the Gen Z club. So we have to make our class interesting. We have to give something extraordinary what the student doesn't know. So that then only we can grab their attention. We can capture their attention, and they will love to attend the class. That is also a very important quality of it, of being a good teacher. Sir was emphasizing on reading habit. Reading habit without making it a habit or passion for reading, you can never make an excellent teacher. You can be a teacher, no doubt. Once you are you will continue to be a teacher. But to be an excellent teacher, to be a great teacher, you need to refresh your knowledge also. That is also a part of NEP. NEP also emphasizes on equity, access, and innovation. We no longer depend on the rote learning, creative thinking. It is a part of NEP. Innovation is a part of NEP. Every now and then there is hackathons. There are hackathons organized. Startup programs are organized. Internship programs are organized. Our students, every department, they go on field tour for, even in social science departments, they go on field tour for 1 week, every department. And in some professional courses, they go for either 1 month or 2 months, one full semester. The 4th semester in some departments, it is a complete semester as for internship. So that is to acquire some skill, because skill is underlined. Skill is very much required. You cannot depend on your rote learning. You just get some notes, take some notes from your teacher and just reproduce it in the examination hall and pass the examination. You can be a clerk only. It's very difficult to compete in the global level, because most of the time you are going to be a global citizen, and in this globalized world, we need skill more than knowledge. Skill is a very important component of NEP. That is also a very important aspect on which every leader, every academic leader like Professor Pradhan or me or anybody, all of us sitting on the desk, we should emphasize upon it. So that's a very important aspect. And the Bikshit Bharat, we are aspiring for a Bikshit Bharat. The key component is the youth. We are one of the youngest countries in the world. The median age is 26 or 28. So that's a blessing for all of us, like in India. So Bikshit Bharat depends on the youth, and skilling the youth is very important for all of us. So without skill, it is very difficult to compete in the global level. So that is a very important aspect. And value education, sir was talking, be it constitutional values, be it moral values, be it any type of values. And so these also should be incorporated. It has to come into the syllabus, and we need to be very cautious while transacting these topics, because value is a very important aspect in Indian civilization. Civilization will not grow without respecting our own values. So our civilization, our tradition, and our culture is very important. Let us not demean all these, and let us not follow Western values without any logic. If there is some logic, then it is okay. If it is digitization, if it is AI, use of AI and machine learning, most of it is borrowed from other countries. India is yet to produce all these in a large scale. We are doing it. We are trying to do it. But so we really need to decolonize ourselves from this intellectual slavery. And also one point is very important. That's the local culture. This is also need to be highlighted. As you know, the South Odisha is a hub of all performing arts. 62 types of performing art are there, and many of them are dying, some of them are reviving. We, in every institution, it is our duty to revive this performing art, the local culture, the culture of South Odisha. In every field, we need to revitalize all these. Very recently, we have a South Odisha Cultural Center, and very recently, we had an MOU with a national institution, and they came, and there were 2,000 palm leaves are there. So they tried to digitize it and catalog it. So it is going to be to add to the existing knowledge. So all these traditions we need to preserve, and then only we can be a Vikshit Bharat. So I wish all the students a very spectacular career and future also. And I wish there are many excellent resource persons on the dais and off the dais. I'm sure this today conference will bring some takeaway for all of you, and all the students will immensely benefit. I really congratulate the team, and especially the principal sir to have organized such a beautiful conference. Thank you.
धन्यवाद मैडम। ज्ञान एवं कौशल विकसित भारत पई मुख्य संबल आपणकर ये आशीर्वाद निश्चित भाव में आम छात्र छात्री मान को उद्बोधित करिवो। वर्तमान मु काली पटनायक मैडम को अनुरोध करी आउ जने अतिथि आम सहित दूर जोड़ी होती से प्रथमे तांकर परिचय प्रदान करिवे एवं ये कार्यक्रम को पुणी से आगे बढ़ाइबे।
I'm extremely sorry. It is month of March, so I have no time. I'm sorry. Thank you, ma'am.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, respected faculties and students, it is my great privilege to introduce another guest in our program. Sir, am I audible, sir? Amarendra sir, sir, namaste. Sir, namaste.
Yes, yes, madam. Yes, madam. Thank you. You are audible loud and clear.
Okay, sir. Dr. Amarendra Pani, Joint Director and Director, Research Division, Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi. Dr. Amarendra Pani is a higher education policy research expert with more than 25 years experience. A research methodologist, Dr. Pani has worked in some of the apex level research and capacity building organizations like NCERT, AIU, and some of the premier and reputed universities like Punjab University, Chandigarh, IGNOU, New Delhi, Hemavati Nandan, Bahuguna, Gharwal University, Uttarakhand, in various academic as well as administrative positions. Over his more than 2 decades stint with the Association of Indian Universities, Dr. Pani has served AIU in various important positions. Dr. Pani is Joint Director and Director, Research Division, AIU. As the head of the Research Division of AIU, Dr. Pani is charged with the responsibility of giving leadership to Research Division in conducting policy research in higher education, organizing capacity building programs for faculty members, and educational administrators and designing student-centric programs. Thank you, sir, having as a guest in our this auspicious occasion. Thank you, sir. Now over to Dr. Dilip Kumar Dole, sir. Sir, now it's over to you for speaking some few words regarding this seminar to the students, sir. Dr. Bani, sir, please.
Thank you, Madam Host. I acknowledge respectfully the presence of Honorable Vice Chancellor, Berhampur University Professor Gitanjali Das, Madam. I do acknowledge the presence of Dr. Purnachandra Behera, who was my senior in Bhadrak College. I do acknowledge the presence of other dignitaries on the dais. No occasion can be a better occasion to be in such a conference that aims to deliberate on restructuring the higher education system as per the global competitiveness as mandated by NEP 2020. At the outset, I congratulate Professor Devendra Sethi, respected principal of the Berhampur B.Ed College, and other organizing team members for choosing a theme of topical importance for the seminar for the program today. It's of course timely and apt. In fact, the Government of India, after the rolling out the NEP 2020, has been putting concerted efforts, gearing up the institutions to restructure the higher education system so that we can keep abreast of the changes occurring into the societies globally. Second, we have a lofty mission of achieving the goal of making India the Vishwaguru, Viksit Bharat by 2047, a status which we have been enjoying since the good old days. India, with its more than 5,000 documented history of educational heritage, was definitely
वाईफाई प्रॉब्लम होच करते वाईफाई प्रॉब्लम होला कटी गले वाईफाई से कटी वाईफाई पूरा फोन अच्छी फोन कनेक्ट करे पड़े सर हम सर जॉइन करिया के चेष्टा हम बिना आप क्या 5G अच्छी 5G अच्छी मोर बोलो बीच आप क्या लोग
ମାନେ ଆସୁନି ନେଟ୍ ଆସୁନି ସେଠି ବିଲକୁଲ ଆସୁନି ଆସୁଥିଲା କଟିଗଲା ମଝିରେ ସେଠୁ ବନ୍ଦ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି
BSNL କଟିଗଲା
BSNL କଟିଗଲା
एक ପାଇଁ ସେଟା ହେଲା ଅନ୍ ହେଲା ଏଟା ଫୋନ ରେ ଚାଲିଛି
ଫୋନ 5G
एयरटेल तमरा हमरा एयरटेल के रूपक हमरा एयरटेल ना जियो धरियोनी काटा एयरटेल कनेक्ट करो ओपन कर पासवर्ड कनेक्ट करो Vivo T2 नहीं पे कर परिबे स्लो ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्शन वाईफाई पूरा कॉपी होता है पूरा बंद है व्हाट्सएप देखिए देखो कौन हॉस्पिटल के देखो देखो ହେଲା ହେଲା ନା ଅଫରିଂ ଅଛି
କରେଣ୍ଟ ପଳେଇଲା ନେଟ୍ ବି
सेकंड ऐप रे रखिया सर
हेलो हाँ भाई हेलो
ହଁ ଦେବ
ଟିକେ ଇଏ ନେଟ୍ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ରହୁଛି ହେଲା କି
ହଁ
ଟିକେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଇଏ କରୁଛୁ ନହେଲେ
କ'ଣ କହିବି ମୁଁ ଅଫ୍ କରିଦେବି କି ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦେବି
ହଁ ବନ୍ଦ ଏବେ ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦେବୁ ଆମେ ଲିଙ୍କ୍ ଦେଲା ପରେ ଆପଣ ଇଏ କରନ୍ତୁ
माइक करना माइक हां एका रखो कार माइक आसे काम कोन दिले जाको बैटरी चेंज कर फिर पकाए बेटा जा ये तो सेटा आपको नहीं
ଯାନ୍ତ୍ରିକ ତ୍ରୁଟି ଯୋଗୁଁ ଆମେ କ୍ଷମା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥୀ। ଏବେ ମୁଁ ମଞ୍ଚକୁ ଆହ୍ୱାନ କରିବି ଅନ୍ୟତମ ଅତିଥି ଶ୍ରୀଯୁକ୍ତ ନାରାୟଣ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ବେହେରା ମହୋଦୟ। ସେ ତାଙ୍କର ବକ୍ତବ୍ୟ ଏଠାରେ ଉପସ୍ଥାପନ କରିବେ। ଶ୍ରୀଯୁକ୍ତ ନାରାୟଣ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ବେହେରା ମହୋଦୟ।
Respected Principal Professor Manoj Kumar Pradhan sir, Honorable VC in absentia Gitanjali madam, respected Robin sir, respected Professor Balabhadra Tripathi sir, respected Purnachandra Behera sir, Devendra sir, dignitaries of the dais. I don't name a lot of people. Only one name I remember, that is Atal sir from Uttarakhand, and the teaching faculties of this college, the other dignitaries invited and participants of this seminar, and last but not the least, the future teachers and the nation builders of the future India. You are all welcome to this seminar. It gave me a great pleasure to know that Dibakar Patnaik Institute of Advanced Studies in Education is organizing a national seminar on the topic of restructuring higher education for global competitiveness in the light of NEP 2020. I feel honored to be invited as a guest to this special academic endeavor and be part of it. Seminars like this provides a unique opportunity for the teacher, research scholars and students to exchange their ideas, share their experience and explore new path of learning. I congratulate the principal and his entire team for selecting such a topic which is very important in the present context, which will benefit the students and it will contribute in some way or other for the restructuring of higher educational institutions of the India. NEP 2020 outlines the transformative reform to restructure the higher education institution of our country. The policy aims to boost the global competitiveness through internationalization, flexibility, and research emphasis. And also it tried to elevate the Indian institution to the world-class standard by 2035. NEP 2020 envisages the standalone institutions will be phased out in a systematic manner in the favor of multidisciplinary ones, and to transfer the higher educational institutions to large, vibrant, multidisciplinary hubs for learning, research and innovation and community engagement institutions. The key aspects of the global competitiveness, in my view, are multidisciplinary education, flexible academic structure, research and innovation, faculty development, and infrastructure development of the higher education institutions. Then the institution should integrate the integrate the technology in teaching and learning process, the internalization of the institution so that the students of other country would read in our country, in our institutions, and the institutions of world repute like Oxford, Cambridge, they will open their branches in our country. So internationalization is another aspect of NEP 2020. NEP 2020. All these aspects are included in the NEP 2020 document. But my concern is that all these lofty and the great dreams of restructuring could be achieved only when we can address the problem of infrastructure gap, faculty development, the faculty shortage, the funding of infrastructure, and the other developmental activities in the educational institutions. If all these infrastructure will not be provided, how could we make technology inclusive? Technology we can, how could माने तो एटी आमे तो देखुचे वर्तमान जो भलिया कंडीशन रे आमे सेमिनार करूचे, if the infrastructure gap will not be bridged, how could we compete in the global stage? So all these things, the funding constraint, etc. I am only I took the charge of regional director for just 5 months. So I saw the colleges are starved of infrastructure. So in this context, how could we imagine that we could transfer all the things into a rosy picture? It is a great concern for me. So if all these aspects could be addressed, then only we can develop our higher educational institutions into we can develop our we can develop our higher educational institutions to vibrant, multidisciplinary educational hub, and we can compete in the context of the global picture. So all these aspects of the topic may be will be discussed in the future sessions, and it will contribute for the understanding of the subject. I appreciate the sincere efforts of the principal, the organizing secretary, and the whole team of organizers for their painstaking but meaningful initiative. This type of seminar not only enhance the academic achievement of the participant but also inspire the young minds to engage in research and innovation in different fields of restructuring the higher educational institutions, which would be beneficial for the participants, the individual participants who participated in this seminar, and also it will give input for the restructuring of the higher education of our country. I extend my sincere good wishes to for the success of the seminar. Thank you.
प्रतिकूल परिस्थिति भितर आपण ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯୋଉ ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ କରିଛନ୍ତି ତାହା ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବେ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ପରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ସମୟରେ ବିଶ୍ୱ ଜଗତକରଣ ପ୍ରକ୍ରିୟାରେ ସାମିଲ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ବାଟ ଦେଖେଇବ। ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏ ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବେ ଅନୁଷ୍ଠାନ ପାଇଁ ସବୁଦିନ ପାଇଁ ମନେ ରହିବ। ଏବେ ମୁଁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି ଆଜିର ଏ ବିଷୟ ବିଶାରଦ ଭାବେ ଯିଏ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ପ୍ରଫେସର ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ବେହେରା ମହୋଦୟ। ତାଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି ତାଙ୍କର ଭିତ୍ତି ପ୍ରବନ୍ଧ ଉପସ୍ଥାପନ କରିବେ।
সেটা নাই ଏବେ ରିଏଲ କ୍ଲାସ ଟିଚର ପ୍ରାକୃତିକ ଉପାୟରେ ଯାହା କରିବା କଣ ସେଠି ବାଜୁନି ସେଟା Principal of this institution and my friend Professor Manoj Kumar Pradhan and Vice Chancellor of Berhampur University Professor Praveen Tripathi and outstanding specialist Professor Balabhadra Tripathi, Professor English and Professor Devendra Sethi, my friend, and Dr. Narayan Chandra Behera, Regional Director of Education of this region, and of the DPIASE, my friend Eskande, my excellent teacher, Professor Mr. Misra, and my friend Balabhadra Jana sir, and colleague of my dear colleagues of this institution, my dear friends, and other dignitaries who have sponsored their paper for this seminar, and my dear students of this. So technically, we are in a problem. So I have been advised to confine my speech within very few minutes. So simply, I would like to say that the present seminar is about the restructuring higher education for global competitiveness, and in the context of NEP 2020, NEP 2020 has highlighted the quality concerns in higher education, and we have to improve the quality of higher education to achieve Viksit Bharat by 2047. And what I think, to achieve the target, Viksit Bharat, to achieve the target of Viksit Bharat, we have to take all the stakeholders of higher education in confidence into our fold, so that all will participate in the higher education process and contribute their best for this development. And one of the concern is that what NEP 2020 has said, the inclusion in education, inclusion in higher education, as All India Survey in Higher Education 2021-22, it has been observed that the gross enrollment ratio in higher education is only 29.4%, but NEP 2020 has targeted that we have to achieve 50% of gross enrollment ratio by 2035. So this is a very long distance we have to cover, and those who are lagging behind in gross enrollment ratio are from the disadvantaged group or from the marginalized section of the society, without whom we cannot dream of the Viksit Bharat. I think we all should pay our serious concern for those disadvantaged children. And as far as the present context in our higher education institution, it has been observed that we are also still facing a lot of problems, just like accessibility, the inclusive accessibility. We are not having inclusive friendly infrastructure like safe classroom, your rapid door, your wheelchair, availability of wheelchair, and a lot of things we are not having. Simply, the disadvantaged children are also not having a proper awareness about the higher educational facilities and what is the real benefit of higher education. I am telling you, all the students that everybody should understand what is the real benefit of higher education. And after taking the higher educational degrees, what financial benefit, what such of social benefit we will get after it. So everybody should understand it, and particularly the students belonging to disadvantaged group are not having such type of awareness. That is the most important concern. And next thing is that the curriculum is not up to date also, and the curriculum is not it is not accommodating the local cultures, the language of the different social groups, particularly the tribal groups, and particularly I want to say that what NEP 2020 has suggested that the mother tongue should be the medium of instruction, but is not going on in our state. Hardly it is said. Of course, some books and some textbooks have been translated in mother tongue, but it is not a satisfactory progress in this regard. And particularly, I think as far as the method of teaching and all teaching and learning process is concerned, it is not so flexible to cover the concerns of the inclusive children, to having the different divergent learning needs. So we must have to be a bit flexible in the context of the modern the pedagogical approaches. Simply overcrowded classroom is another concern. In every educational institution, you will see the overcrowded classroom. In overcrowded classroom, what will happen? We cannot pay individual attention to the students, and particularly those who are having certain learning needs, learning problems, we cannot pay proper attention to those students. And this is a major concern in our system. And for that, teaching people are also lacking behind academically. So it is another thing, and another problem is that everybody is made compulsory that everybody is to participate in the classroom. There could have been certain digital attendance also, digital assessment also. Certain type of flexibility should be maintained in the attendance, in assessment, in the classroom teaching also. So what is not going on in our system? And another thing is that the skill, vocational skill, the students who are belonging from the socio-economically disadvantaged group, they need immediate job, immediate benefit, economic benefit, I mean, after the higher educational degrees. So our students, those who are coming out of the higher educational institutions, are not having proper potentiality, particularly the employment potentiality, with the help of which they can get a secure job. So that is not happening. So in this regard, I can say that a lot of problems we are facing, particularly in the context of inclusive education. If the certain viable measures, the satisfactory measures should be taken in this regard, then students can have a better adjustment in the higher education institutions. They can get access to the institution. They can get their support services from the institution also in terms of academic counseling, in such a financial scholarship, also financial assistance, and certain assistive devices can also be introduced, can also be supplied to them also for their learning assistance. So a lot of things could have been done, but it's not so far has been done. And particularly, I would like to request in the conclusion to my colleagues and my students also, be sympathetic to the inclusive children. They need our sympathy, because without our sympathy, without our love and affection, no students belonging to the disadvantaged group can progress. So kindly pay attention to this problem, and I hope certain problem of inclusion can be overcome, and how we can achieve our quality of higher education. Thank you.
बर्तमान अनुरोध करी आवाहक महोदय से धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव
Very good afternoon to all. Respected Principal Sir, in absentia, VC, Berhampur University, Berhampur, esteemed Regional Director, Berhampur, esteemed keynote speaker, Berhampur sir, esteemed my teacher, Robin Kumar Tripathi sir, এবং মোর বন্ধু পূর্ণবাবু এবং মঞ্চতলায় থিবা মোর গুরু বৃন্দাবন চন্দ্র মিশ্র স্যার, সঞ্জয় স্যার এবং মোর বন্ধুগণ এবং মোর প্রিয় ছাত্রছাত্রী। दुर्भाग्य कि जो परिस्थिति आम सेमिनार को नवाक चाहूलु भगवान इच्छा ना कि मैंने थंडार बसतु आराम से बस भगवान इच्छा पिला माने गरम बसतु एवं सार मैंने सड़ू बहुत चेष्टा परिचेष्टा भितर प्रिंसिपल सर काली राति 12टा पर्यंत रही सब प्रकार सरंजाम सब प्रकार कला परे आज जोटा कि सेमिनार आम ठीक भाव ऑनलाइन मोड कि टेक्निकल भाव आम ठीक भाव कर पार्लु ना এটা হচ্ছে বড় দুর্ভাগ্য এবং দুর্যোগ कहବାକୁ গেলে তেণু ପରିଶେଷରେ ଯାହା ବି ହଉ ଯେତେ ପ୍ରତିକୂଳ ପରିସ୍ଥିତି ହଉ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯାହା ବି ହଉ ଆମକୁ ଆଗକୁ ବଢ଼ିବାକୁ ଅଛି ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶ ଯାହା ମୋତେ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ଦିଆହେଇଛି ଭୋଟ ଅଫ୍ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ଫର୍ମାଲ ବା ଇନଫର୍ମାଲ ଯାହା ବି ହଉ समस्त को हृदयर सहित मु समस्त को धन्यवाद दूसरी जमीती कि आम की नोट एड्रेस बलभद्र सर ड्यू टू लैक ऑफ टाइम वी हैव रिक्वेस्टेड सर प्लीज कंप्लीट विथ 5 to 10 minutes sir. You accept it and within the stipulated period you complete your ideas about how IKS is important in the present scenario. So thank you sir for your valuable ideas and suggestions in this regard. So again I am thankful to you for your presence in this seminar. Then we have with another resource person get honor, my teacher, my guru, my mentor. आपने प्राय तो ये जिते जन अच्छा आप समस्त जानी 89-90 में +2 FM कॉलेज कला बेले सार प्राय 87 जॉइन करते प्रोफेसर सिटी फास्ट पोस्टिंग सेटल थे वेरी हैंडसम देखा बहुत हैंडसम थे आम देखी सार देखला आम भर गोटे जेलस आस सार चलवा कथा कहवा सब प्रकार जो स्टाइल टी डिफरेंट था तेणु तार भर कि ना कि से छाप मो भर पलैला जो +2 बाय चांस मो एजुकेशन भीतर पशि जाइथिले मोर इच्छा नथिला बाय चांस एजुकेशन भीतर को एज सब्जेक्ट भीतर मु पळे आथिले किंतु जेतळे सार को देखिली आउ जणे मोर भी टीचर थे भागवत पाणी जाय सार थे से पळे वेरी ओल्ड very conservative, very माने on principle जा कोन साथे प्रवीण सर आउ सी सर नो भीतर टिके बहुत हेल एंड हेवन डिफरेंस थिला हेल एंड हेवन डिफरेंस तो एबे भी सही रास्ता सर को स्टाफ कमन रो जेबा रास्ता से जो सर बढ़िया देख जाय कि स्पोर्ट्स ये अछि एबे भी मोर से रेखा मने पड़ जाउ जे सर से तो सांगरे जिबा सर से तो क्लास रे बसिबा सर जेतले इच्छा नाही पाठ पढिया पई सर जने हमर भलो गीत गाय पिलाटे थिला सर ताको डाकिबे तो गीत गा मु माप दउची हैला कि तेरो टेबल बाड़ेबे पाठ सेतले एते इच्छा नथिले भी इच्छा भी थाए सर कबे तो गीत बोल मु बजाउची तापर देखिबा क्लास के तोड़ जाउची कोन जाउची देखिबा तनु आई अप्रिशिएट सर फॉर योर guidance mentorship in that period so already sir as a advocate some of the things like ABC academic bank credit how it will help for the students in future that is more important in NEP 2020. Sir, thank you for your presence. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and thank you so much, madam, for your accompanying with us. Again, we have the BC madam. As so not here. She has जोटा कि 2022 रे हमें ताको देखिथिले जो रूप रे देखिथिले 2022 रे 22 रे हमें निवेद मैडम हो ये मैडम कोनेश्वर थिले सेतबेले से टी वर्क करिथिले जेतले फर्स्ट आडी आसी बरहमपुर यूनिवर्सिटी जॉइन करथिले सेतबेले गुटे वर्ड कहिथिले मु बुलडोजर मैडम नाहते मैडम पळैलेनी ताको सेही वर्ड टी मने पकेउ चाहथिली बरहमपुर यूनिवर्सिटी केते बेसी जाइछन्ती मु काहारी की खातिरी करिबिनी कि चिनिबिनी मु जानि नाही मु बुलडोजर मु चढ़ी की चली जीवी जी जते जहा आसु जे आसु मो सम्मुख रे केही एठी टिकी पारिबे नाही रियली जेतले मु 3 वर्ष परे मु से यूनिवर्सिटी गली द कैंपस द क्लासरूम all things have been changed जोटा कि लाक एक्रेडिटेशन पाई बहुत प्रकार चेष्टा मैडम करछथि दैट इज द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ गीतांजलि मैडम और BC so in absence I'm thankful to madam for present here and giving so many suggestions to our students how to students will be carry on. So thank you madam for your nice presentation. Then we have all with our young and dynamic Dr. Pani. Due to certain reasons, we are not connecting. Later on, we will have interaction with him. Then at last, we have the Narayan sir is there, RD Regional Director of Berhampur. So thank you, sir. We have very much glad to see you again in this institution, and your vibrant speech is more important for our students. Thank you, sir, accepting in this present in this seminar, sir. Again, we have another resource person from NKC City, Professor Punachandra Behera is with us. He is coming with some pen drive, but pen drive is not working here. So we are sorry to provide all support to you. Their professor they suggested that the traditional classroom will be started. So thank you, Punavu, for your nice presentation. So we are glad to see you again in this auspicious occasion. Then at last, my principal is here. I am thankful to Professor Manoj Kumar Pradhan. He has given 100% effort to complete or to carry all these programs in his mind. We are just the supporters. We are the main person behind that person. So, जेती काम आपण देखुछंती 3-4 दिन हला अनिद्र रही सब प्रकार अरेंजमेंट करी सब करिबा भितरे कहिया पई तकरा बळ नाही तंठी पड़ी गलानी thank you, Principal Sir, for to organize such a beautiful seminar. So, thank you for your idea behind this seminar. So, thank you everyone who are present here, who are not present, those who are in the outside. Again, I am thankful to the media persons, technical teams, and my students, those who are working from last 6 or 7 days for giving this seminar a color. So, thank you everyone. Thank you, Thalai sir. Again, I am thankful to Thalai sir. Taking all steps to introduce the guest or inauguration guest, everything, and thank you to all my dear colleagues here, all persons who are involved in the system. Thank you to all. Thank you.
गोटे मिनट खाली आमर टेक्निकल टीम काम करछंती वर्तमान या भीतर हम लॉन्च करियो के बीच में समस्ते वो पिला झियो पिला सेठी जो गर्ल्स हॉस्टल रो डाइनिंग रे सेठी सब खाइबे से माने हमर आउ जते सब इनवाइटेड गेस्ट्स हम टीचर्स सब हम जिबा हमर कॉलेज रे ताको बंदोबस्त कराइ छै लॉन्च हमें आउ घंटे पर एठी आसीबा तो समस्त केही जीवन समस्त में लॉन्च बंदोबस्त जे मीडिया पर्सन जते गेस्ट आछंती सब बाहर भी समस्त हमर बाहर जे इनवाइटेड गेस्ट्स रिसर्चर्स पेपर्स जो ये पेपर प्रेजेंटर्स समस्त पाई तेणु वर्तमान আমি চাহুଛୁ ଅଧଘଣ୍ଟା ଘଣ୍ଟା ଭିତରେ ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ କରିଦେବା ପାଇଁ ହେଇଛି କି
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି ନିଜ ନିଜ ଆସନରେ ଛିଡ଼ା ହେଇଯିବେ ଏବଂ ଆମେ ଜାତୀୟ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଜାତୀୟ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ